Hello everyone, welcome to SAM IELTS YouTube channel. So I hope you are really excited to learn a lot of tricks and tips regarding the IELTS because most of our subscribers are related to the IELTS aspirants. As well as I strongly recommend for the working professionals for this channel in order to enhance their English proficiency. Right, without further delay, let's get back into today's topic. Today's topic is all about the IELTS reading exam. Well, before getting into today's exact topic, I'm going to give you a brief about the reading exam. Though you know, I'm just giving you a gist of it. Well, first of all, you need to understand that you need to answer for 40 questions in 60 minutes, whether it may be an IELTS academic or it may be an IELTS general. Today, the important question type in the IELTS reading is match the heading. I'm going to discuss a lot of details about that. Without further delay, let's get started. Alright, so let's discuss why this match the heading is very tedious and how to face this. First of all, you need to understand that you need to answer for 40 questions in 60 minutes, whether it may be an IELTS academic or it may be an IELTS general. Today, the important question type in the IELTS reading is match the heading. I'm going to discuss a lot of details about that. Without further delay, let's get started. Alright, so match the heading question type is the most probably the first question type in the passage 3, which means you need to understand in the passage 3 you will get a huge passage which means around 1000 to 1500 words, and when you actually see the passage itself, it is a bit challenging. It is a bit scary. So when you get this type of question, obviously most of the IELTS aspirants fail to do this in a correct manner due to the scariness. So I ask you to get down or get rid of your fears before approaching this question. That is step number 1. And the step number 2 is that you need to read the entire passage. Yes, there is no other option for that. So what you need to do is that when you get this type of question, you need to go to the passage instead of going to the headings. So always remember the number of passages will be less as well as the number of questions will be more. So what you have to do is that you need to go to the passage A. If there is any blurb means the subheading. So if you have any heading, just read the heading and then go on into the passage. Read the entire passage, understand the gist of the passage. You need to understand in the IELTS, whether it may be a reading or a writing exam, one paragraph consists of only one main idea. So you need to find out the main idea and the supporting ideas. So when you read the entire passage, you understand what is called as the main idea. So you need to go to the entire paragraph, read the entire paragraph, understand the main idea, then come to the questions, which means the heading. Read each and every heading from the starting of the heading to the ending of the heading, which means if you have 10 options in the heading, you need to read from 1 to 10 and find out the exact heading which is opt for that particular passage. Remember, there are few distractors that you can actually get into this. Okay, what are those distractors? Point number 1. You may find out the exact same phrase which is actually represented in the passage. When you get this, most of the students will feel that, okay, I have read this somewhere and this is the answer. No, that is not the answer. That is a trap. So you need to understand that very clearly. Secondly, you need to understand when you find the exact words, okay, which is in the passage, then that is also a trap, which means you need to understand, and you are going through an international English test and the words will be always paraphrased. Remember, 90% the words will always be paraphrased. Okay, how to find out this main idea? When you read the entire passage, in the first 2 lines or in the last 2 lines, the main idea will be usually discussed. However, there are exceptions for this, but you need to have an overview or a general idea regarding how to find out the main idea. When you find out the main idea, you please read the next line in order to check whether the supporting idea is correct or not. Which means if the supporting idea is correct, then which means you need to understand when you got the main idea, you need to read the next line. So you need to understand that the supporting idea actually supports the main idea. If it's so, yes, you are correct. You have already identified the main idea. So always listen to the main idea and the supporting ideas which is actually represented in the paragraph. So once you read and understand the entire passage, go to the question, read the headings one by one, and if you find the exact answer, just mark it down and then go on to the next passage. Well, this sounds so easy. So what is the problem with this? Okay, let me explain a few problems. Sometimes you get confused between two headings. So, if you get confused between the two headings, you just don't care about this. Just mark the two headings as the passage number in the question paper and then move on to the next passage. Because once you progress through passage, you actually identify the main idea, and by the end of the passage or by the end of the last passage, you actually neglect one answer. So you don't worry about it. You need to understand that when you got confused between two answers, you just mark the two answers in the question paper, just move on to the next passage. Don't waste too much time in identifying one passage or the heading for one passage. Instead, you can move on to the next passage, read the passage, again find out the main idea, then actually you can move on to the headings. Once you find the headings is matched, then you can just strike out or cross off the exact answer that you have found, because you may get confused with the next passage. So never ever do this. Just strike off the answer which you have actually realized as the correct answer. So these are all some important tips that you can use for the match the heading question type. So I'm going to give you a practice question where it is attached, so you can just find out the answer, and if you know the answer, just do the comments in the comment section. I'm there to help you out in telling you the correct answer. So if you like this video, please like, share and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also, never forget to follow us in the Instagram page. Thank you.